subscribe.
Hello everyone, welcome to Rogue Record Music for this special unboxing. And I'm going to so butcher this. If you can read the title of this episode or this video, you can see what it is. It is the unboxing of Dream Theater's latest live album on vinyl. More importantly, this is the AMC One Night Only event exclusive vinyl. I'm going to butcher it, QUARANTIÉME, whatever. It's in French. It's live. It's basically the 40th anniversary tour that they had filmed in the early part of the tour. And this AMC event was for the release of the live album. So I believe it was a day before a couple days before the live album dropped on Blu-ray and DVD, CD, and vinyl. Some of their standard version vinyls came out. They had a AMC One Night Only exclusive event where you could go to an AMC theater close by. You had to drive about an hour and 40 minutes away to go see a early preview of the full concert, which was really cool. So that actually made it my third time seeing the band, which was really cool if you count the AMC. I saw it on the 40th anniversary tour in Cleveland, and then when it rolled around to the Parasomnia tour, I saw them in Columbus, and then I got to see them in November 17th, I believe is what my order says, that I placed it the night of. Yes, November 17th is when this event was. Making sure that's correct. Yep, November 17th is when the AMC event was, and they had some exclusive, I'm using air quotes here, exclusive merchandise for us AMC patrons that went to it. You could get a shirt. Now you weren't getting it at the theater. You got a QR code on the screen to scan during the movie theater. The information kind of leaked out a couple hours before the event. So I sat in the AMC lobby, ordered the merchandise that I wanted, and then went into the theater and saw the movie, the concert rather. And so it was originally billed as if you didn't go to the theater, you couldn't get this exclusive vinyl and poster and t-shirt. I believe that's all it was, were those three things. I didn't get the t-shirt, but I did order the poster and vinyl. Then after probably a day or so later, right when the album dropped, if you didn't go to AMC and you still wanted the special translucent blue vinyl and poster, you could still order it. Initially, I was kind of bummed, like, hey, I went to the theater, I saw it, but if everybody gets a chance to add more vinyl to their collection, we're all the better for it. So it finally came, and this is March 16th, so what's that? December, January, February, March, 4 months later, almost 4 months to the day later, this finally gets released. I originally had the orange version of I believe it was the orange version of the album on pre-order. So I was going to get the ear book, as it's called. So I had already ordered this. Comes with the Blu-ray, CD, all that good stuff. There's the CDs, wonderful book. And then I thought, well, I want the vinyl, so I'd ordered the orange and everything would have arrived at the same time. And then we heard about the AMC thing, and there was going to be an exclusive, specially colored vinyl for this event. So I quickly went to Amazon, canceled that order for the orange vinyl, and then I thought, well, I'll get this one. And it took a lot longer than I think a lot of us expected. So again, with I think some production issues, and pressing vinyl is kind of hard sometimes, depending on where they're getting things pressed and how shipment's going. I had actually reached out to First Listen, was the company, if I remember right. I'll try and put their information up here, that you can still order this. At least at the time of this video, it is still available. They had emailed back and said they're just waiting on the next shipment from their supplier. And then with about 3 days later, I got an email saying that it had finally shipped. So all of that to say, it is finally here. Here's the box. We'll get this opened, and hopefully everything is in mint condition, and it's going to look great. This won't be a review for the album. I will wait and kind of listen to the vinyl, but we'll take a look at the vinyl. We'll take a look at the poster and the companion poster that this is based off of. All right, so right away, I'm happy and a little scared, I guess. I was kind of hoping they were going to package this like Amazon would. It would be a box inside of another box, and you would get the typical, I don't think I have one here, but the cardboard vinyl mailer that they would put it in. So I got the box open here. So this was just kind of floating around in here. So the poster did come in a tube. I'll see if we can kind of... So here's how it comes shipped. So you can see the vinyl there. The vinyl is only protected by some bubble wrap, but the poster is rolled and in this tube. So we'll get to the poster in a second. So I'm hoping I've got no dinged corners because it's just in this bubble wrap, and we're going to throw the box off camera, and hopefully we don't knock anything. Hey, there we go. So everything appears to be fine. I would have liked this to have been protected a little bit more, but it appears to have arrived really well. So there it is. If you can say it, there it is, live in live in Paris. And it says limited addiction. Vinyl is an addiction. Limited deluxe translucent sea blue 4 LP recorded in Paris. Dream Theater celebrate their 40th anniversary across nearly 3 hours of music from their career. So very, very cool. So this is what the poster looks like. We'll get to the poster in just a second. And this is the original 40th anniversary poster. I don't know if I've got kind of a crappy frame here. I need to get this framed, properly. I've got a lot of scratches on it, but you can kind of see this is more of a lithograph. You can kind of see where it shimmers. So that's how the new poster is going to be as well. And I'll get them in some really nice frames and get them back on the wall over here. There was one for Radio City Music Hall when they did that. So there was a version of the Radio City Music Hall kind of in that same, hopefully I'll put an image of it on here if I can find it. It would have been great to have all three. I think I can probably find it on eBay, but I'm sure I'm going to pay through the nose for it. Would have been great to have like all three versions of that. And this is always one of those, like trying to get the poster that's been rolled, it's rolled tight to get in here and then it loosens up, and then you're trying so gingerly to pull a rolled poster out of its tube and not tear anything. So hopefully, and they did put a nice backing. I don't know if it's numbered at all. So this may be kind of hard to show. That's really kind of cool. So it says in cinemas November 17th, 2025. But clearly you can't see. You can kind of see how some of it shimmers, and the mirror looks really kind of cool in there. I'm sure the Nomax, the camera's not really doing it justice. For the sake of the video, we know what it looks like. The poster looks like it's in really good condition. If I can get this in some type of a frame and get the two side by side, I will. But we know what the image is of it. So let's just move on with getting the vinyl out. Again, this is the image of the poster. So this appears kind of like The Astonishing, that it comes in kind of a slip case where there's two albums in each of these little mini inner sleeves. I like to save my hype sticker, and when I re-sleeve this, I'll put the hype sticker on the bag. So yeah, so this is just a pocket, outer sleeve. So there's that, if anybody really cares. The spine. So LP jacket number 1. So if you have the CD or the book, this is kind of what the individual discs would look like. So actually that is the second half. So here is disc 1, side A. So this is the first one. I don't think there's no indication that says 1 or 2 on here anywhere. So I assumed when they were both in the jacket like this, I thought, well, the one closest to me is going to be the first one. Very cool. If I didn't show it already. So there we go. Side A, Metropolis Overture 1928 and Strange Deja Vu. You flip it over, you get the Mirror and Panic Attack on side B. Side C, Barstool Warriors and Hollow Years. Flip it over, you get Constant Motion and As I Am. That's pretty cool. Again, all these images were in the earbook or a deluxe art book. Now we already showed this, but we have side E, the orchestral overture, Night Terror, Under a Glass Moon. Side F, flip it over. This is the Life, Vacant, Stream of Consciousness. Side G is the whopping Octavarium all to its own side. And then you flip that one over to get side H, and you get Home, Spirit Carries On, and Pull Me Under. And the Big Arm Cyclist. And the Ants. All right, so let's start pulling out some of the vinyl. So at least jacket number 1 appears to have a book. Distance Over Time skull, which is kind of cool. And this is essentially just like the big book. So I wonder if you do get kind of the full live book, just broken up over two LPs. So hit the microphone there. I wonder. And they come in polylined sleeves. Oh, that's really pretty cool. So there is the translucent sea blue. My good friend Rick likes to come into the light. Very cool. So this is... It's very small. I don't know if you can see it, where it tells you it's side A, right there. So with each of these labels being very similar, I would have liked it to be a little bit more pronounced or written side A. I mean, it's there, but I really had to look to figure out which is which. So getting these mixed up would be a pain in the butt. But again, nice polylined sleeves, so I really don't have to do much re-sleeving. Part of me says I might, but when you pay $70+ for the vinyl, it's nice when you go the extra mile and you make them. Pull out the second. Again, these are all going to be the same. So very, very similar in the center labels, which, again, I would have liked a few more words on it to be able to say this is side A, this is side B, side D, etc., etc. Let's go to and it does not appear to be another book. So it is a smaller book compared to the art book, which that makes sense. You're paying more for the art book, so you're getting a ton more photos from the actual event. I'm going to get all these vinyl. I think almost all of these center labels are they're close. It's a variation of this image. Yeah, and some of them it is really hard to see what side is what. So just something to pay attention of, and we'll pull out the last one I said I wasn't going to. Tell you what, let's just put these back in so I know this is this side, this is that side, this is disc 3, disc 4. And the 4th disc. I mean, ever so slight change. Again, I've said it all 4 times now. I would have done something different with the center label and not make each of these images so close to themselves. Because if you happen to get the records kind of mixed up somehow, then you'd be going, oh no, that's the wrong one. But Dream Theater. Live in Paris. Rob can't pronounce the title because he is not French. Oui. But just what a fun run of concerts. I got to see 2 live and then this on the big screen, which was amazing. The AMC theater that I was in, the sound was primo. It was almost a sold out event. So I did have to sit up front. So from some of the other Dream Theater fans that I had met along the way, we got to chatting through it, and it kind of felt like we were at a concert. There were some people kind of singing along. Some of us were air drumming and doing all that type of stuff. But it was great. Again, this is the first tour that Mike Portnoy is back in the band, and just a good time to be a Dream Theater fan. So that's been the quick unboxing of Dream Theater. You pronounce it, not me. Live Paris? Live in Paris. But wait, there's more. Another package. I've been home from work for a little bit. Got the video all edited. The live album that we just did an unboxing for. So this is a couple days later, but I was doing the editing for that and rendered the video, and then I got a notification that I had another package being delivered. And this is a few hours after I've been home from work, so I've been doing different stuff on the computer, and I realized, hey, Rob, you did not open this package that you got that is obviously Dream Theater related, and I've got to go back in and re-edit the video because I'm going to put this at the tail end of the AMC exclusive vinyl that we just watched me do an unboxing for. So this is obviously another Dream Theater package, and I haven't uploaded this to YouTube, but I'm imagining I'm going to say what this is. This is the graphic novel that they put together for the Parasomnia album. I'm going to get my timetables wrong here. Hopefully I will remember and put some information going across the screen. So their latest album, which is now a year old, this is the variant cover that came with the box set. And as you can see, it is all autographed by the band. When I saw them in Cleveland, I took this and had the band sign it. So I think that's pretty cool. So if you aren't familiar, this album, Parasomnia, is a concept album in theme that each song deals with a different type of sleep deprivation, dreams, that type of thing. You waking and walking nightmares. So it's about sleep disturbances. So they got together with Z2 Comics is the distributor. Again, I'm going to put some information down here, and they turned each of the songs and illustrated them and put it in a graphic novel. So you could then it was probably a few months after the album came out. Could have been 6. Again, hopefully I'll have the information down here when the pre-orders went up. So there was different versions. You could get the graphic novel and then a special version of the album in a, I think a blue or teal color, ironically, which is what we got for the AMC variant up there for the live album. But at the time, I had just bought the album. I had just saw Dream Theater, and I think I was getting ready to see them again. And I was like, I don't know if I want to. Normally, us vinyl collectors, we will buy the same album over and over and over again for different variants and pressings. I just didn't have the money then. And initially, I thought that's the only way to get the graphic novel. But they had a version where you could just get the book itself. And when I saw Dream Theater in Columbus last year, the book was available. I could have bought it at the merch stand. I didn't realize that. But I did the pre-order, so I'm going to open this up and we'll see. Now, this took a little bit longer to come out. They had some production delays. So not only did I get an email from First Listen that did the vinyl album, but Z2 Comics also had some production issues too with this. So I think this process took a little bit longer to come out. So it's supposed to come in a hard cover, and it does. Oh, wow. Of course I knew it was going to be heavy. So, wow. There it is. So hopefully it's Parasomnia, the graphic album. So there is the book in there. It's a nice hardcover, which is really, really cool. I don't know if I showed the back there as well. So no hype sticker, no nothing. So this won't be a review and what the, story actually is, and if there's difference to the, the lyrics and the themes from the album itself. But I believe each song is represented. Oh, that is really, really nice. Oh, there's even some goodies inside. So there's a nice little roll. I don't know if you can see that there. Or a little crease. Not too bad. But a nice print. So technically you could have another variant of the album cover. It's really nice. I had forgotten that there was a print with this. So nothing else in there. Not that anybody really cares to see the inside, but still. So now it's out of the shrink. You can kind of see things a little bit clearer. Nice gloss against the matte. Very cool. Very, very cool. And here's the book itself. See if I can read this in the screen. 2025 marks the 40 years. That's hard to read. In the camera. 2025 marks 40 years that Dream Theater has challenged and thrilled audiences with their complex, progressive signature on the world of rock and heavy metal. Now, to commemorate this epic milestone and the release of their 16th studio release, an all-star collaboration of award-winning writers and artists from the world's from the worlds of science fiction, film, comics, and television have assembled to produce Parasomnia, the graphic album. A powerful tribute containing 8 original stories that interpret the songs of its namesake album. This collection dives deep into the world of dreams and nightmares. It's a little glossy. There we go. Revealing just how thin the boundary is between sleeping world and the waking one. Boy, if I really butchered that, but there you go. It appeared to have a little bit of a Okay. Little smudge. Very cool. So we have the Dream Theater Majesty logo in there. It won't go page by page. Okay, I thought this might be a little bit better. I tried it doing like you saw at the beginning, and I was just struggling with it. I knocked over a glass of soda. It was a whole mess. So I thought, you have another ability to film it this way. So let's film it so you can actually see it a little bit better, and you don't need to see my dumb face. So again, like I said, I don't think I really said it as much when I got it out of the package, but I felt it kind of odd that they designed it that the book comes out from the left side as opposed to the right side of the slipcase. So, when you go to put it on your shelf, I'll put it like this, and then, here's the book right here, so I'll pull it out. I would have done it, I guess maybe I understand because the book is going to face this way on the shelf. That would make it the front. But I guess laying it down, I'm thinking, oh, you'd want to pull it from this side. So I guess looking at this way, that does make sense that the front cover of the book is coming this way. So anyway, I just answered my own question there. But you can see the foil work that's been done on it. So each one of the symbols here represents one of the songs on the album. So we'll take it out of the slipcover. And again, it came with a print, which I believe I showed that it's just out of my reach. So it's the exact same as this is, just minus the Dream Theater and the Parasomnia album text. It's just the artwork. And there's the back side of it. And then I won't go through page by page, but you could see the Dream Theater kind of black on black. It's a little lighter shade of black to kind of give you that, Metallica album-esque cover, if you will. So the Dream Theater Parasomnia, the graphic album. So it won't go track by track or page by page, I guess this were. So there's everybody with Z2 Comics, Z2 Publishing. And I'm also a comic book collector. I haven't collected as much in the last few years, but I do occasionally go to comic book collection or conventions. So it'd be kind of cool to pay attention to who is writing and drawing some of these. And could I get this book signed by the artist at some convention? So, I'll have to see and kind of do some other work into that. But you can kind of see, In the Arms of Morpheus starts at page 6, Night Terror, page 20, Broken Man, page 34, Dead Asleep, page, 50, Midnight Messiah, 64, Are We Dreaming, 78, Bend the Clock, my favorite track off the album. What a beautiful song. This is right up there with the Budokan Hollow Years, just with that great solo by John Petrucci, page 92, and the Shadow Man Incident at page 106. So, like I said, I won't do everything. There's In the Arms of Morpheus right there. So this would be really cool. I can't wait just to sit down and read it. I would like to play the album while I'm reading the book, just kind of over and over again. There's Night Terror. But I think I would start listening to the album more than I'm listening to, or, trying to read the book. So say I'm not going page by page, but I'm doing a really good job of of doing that. There's Broken Man. We'll kind of jump through a little bit more here. Different art styles. There is Dead Asleep. Another one of my favorite tracks off of the album. This has a very much a Law and Order SVU vibe, at least from the song aspect of it, of someone sleepwalking and murders his wife. So it'll be interesting to see how much the writers adhere to the storyline in the dream, or are they doing their interpretation of the story that's in the song? Are they a complete departure from the album to the comic book? So I think a lot of us kind of have in our minds
what those stories are. And I remember when MTV started, my mom was like, I don't know how you can watch a music video. The greatest thing about there's Midnight Messiah, listening to, an album, you get to make up your own mind of what that song means and kind of do your own story. Watching somebody else's vision come to life, that could change your perception of the song. So this is something I noticed here. That's got to be James right there. He's got the goatee, the long hair, kind of holding the microphone. So is that John Mayung potentially right there? I don't think this is Dream Theater, but to me, that's James. There's no tattoos, but sure looks like you, James. What do we got here? That's the end of that one. Are We Dreaming? Just what a beautiful piece, of writing by the band. As short as it is, it gets a decent treatment in here. Bend the Clock. Steve Niles, Stan Yak, Simon D'Angelo, and Tom Williams do this one. Man, what a... So this is a little different than what the album and the music video that they did for this. Definitely different. Just a little profanity there on that last page, and the Shadow Man incident. So I kind of almost went through page by page of this. There's the Shadow Man right over there. It's very cool. So then we have this nice bio section of all of the artists and writers, the creators. Some storyboards, and then a little write-up on the cover, and then the album itself. Great. I'm so glad to have this. Like I said, I'm shooting these a little out of sequence from the opening to this part. So I'm trying to remember what I said in the first part of it, but I almost bought the album. Didn't quite have the funds at the time, but I really wanted this just to get a full, encompassing look at this first album back with Mike Portnoy. And I thought doing this just sounded like a really cool idea. Even if all of these stories in here are completely different than how they wrote them for the album, just another version. And it could have been somebody listens to the song and then they're interpreting what they think the song means. So we could have, the band's version of it and then the artists and creators version of this album. So let's go back to me and I'll wrap this thing up. I thought this would be better to give you a little bit better look of what this looks like. So if you were on the fence about it, go pick it up. Again, go pick it up. I haven't read it yet, but I think this is really cool. Just another piece of DT history that there's a comic book version of an album that a lot of us really like, this Parasomnia album. So back to you, Rob.
So if you're new to the channel, hit the bell, click subscribe to get more content. And yes, I'm a huge Dream Theater fan. So there's going to be plenty of Dream Theater stuff. And then you can see Kiss stuff and a whole bunch of music here. That's what this show is all about. Just going through my music collection and talking about a lot of my favorite bands. And one of the big ones, Dream Theater. We'll see you in the next video. Take care.